All right, so welcome, Rebecca.
Hi.
We have read over your resume that you submitted, and we just have a few more questions for you, if you don't
All
mind.
right.
Okay, so to start with, this PR position in Miami calls for someone with media contacts in Latin America, specifically Chile. How can you provide us with those contacts?
Well, after studying abroad for a year in Spain, I went ahead and lived a couple of years in Latin America. So I went around making different travel and media contacts, both very good friendships and some great acquaintances with whom I can feel like I can really contribute to the mission of Airbnb.
Okay, so you said you lived in South America. Where exactly?
Well, I spent 1 year teaching English in Chile, and then another year traveling throughout Argentina, working for a nonprofit organization and doing some more public relations related work for them.
So you did live in Chile. The position calls for someone who can manage communication activities and these strategies specifically in Chile, Mexico, and Argentina.
Well, exactly. There in Chile, I made the contacts that I needed at the Harvard University office, doing both um, social media and website design for them, and then there in Argentina, working for a nonprofit organization. And finally, when it comes to Mexico, I haven't traveled there in a few years, but I do have a very good friend there who would definitely provide the contacts necessary for Airbnb.
Okay, so you kind of touched on it a little bit, but what communication activities and strategies do you have experience in?
Like I said, working at Harvard, it was very much so website design, and then working in Argentina, I worked on making that nonprofit organization more well known, basically creating a campaign for them.
Okay, so you talked a little bit about your work in Latin America, but tell me more about the work you did before you left the States. What experience do you have? Do you have any experience completing a campaign from start to finish?
I do. Actually, before I left the States, before graduating, I worked on 3 different campaigns. 2 of them were for a school, and one of them was working for Sides and Associates. I actually helped implement the Increase of Attacks campaign, working for the Lafayette Regional Airport as our client. And for school, I did work with a nonprofit and a religious organization.
Okay. How confident are you in your writing skills? Do you have any examples to
I
share?
actually do have some examples, and I'm fairly confident about writing skills. I do have a large variety from press releases in both English and in Spanish, uh, media advisories, proposals, you name it, it was probably there in the portfolio.
Well, I think that about covers all the bases, and I thank you for your time.
Thank you very much. It's a
Thanks.
pleasure.
Always.